Hello everyone, I'm Trey Rich and you are watching The Buzz. We are back from break and we got a great show for you. In our studio, we have the girls group Seasons. In our artist spotlight, we have Tesher, whose remix version of a single, Jalebi Baby, featuring Jason Derulo, is killing it on social media. And then we have Ashlyn B talk about her hit HULU show, This Way Up. We got a little something for everybody, so let's get this party started.
Hello, I am Ashlyn B, writer and creator, and what I call myself lead actor, I think, of This Way Up, which comes out on July the 9th on HULU. And I'm ready to get buzzed.
I missed you guys, but we're back and we got a lot of catching up to do. The Britney Spears conservatorship has all the drama of a Hollywood movie, with both her lawyer and manager quitting as Britney announces she wants to retire from music. Then the financial institution behind her conservatorship, they quit because they were misled that Britney was on board with all this mess. But since her testimony, they wanted no part of it, and now Jody Montgomery filed court papers this past Friday, blasting Britney's father for attempting to blame her for Britney's brutal testimony about her treatment under the conservatorship. In the papers, Montgomery says she's received countless messages about getting her father out of her life and the conservatorship and death threats. Not to mention her father took $2 million from her conservatorship to defend himself. Hopefully all this mess leads to the end of her 13-year conservatorship and Britney can live her life freely. Twitter had a field day Friday evening clowning Khloe Kardashian's ex Tristan Thompson after her other ex Lamar Odom commented on a picture she posted with the word hottie. Tristan tagged Lamar in the comments and then threatened him, writing, "God brought you back the first time, play if you want, different results." The comment is obviously referring to Lamar's infamous 2015 drug overdose at a Nevada brothel, which nearly killed him. After that exchange, many clowned Tristan, one saying Tristan Thompson's gonna try to fight a guy who won a gold medal on crack, others saying they should play each other one-on-one, and another posting a picture of two clowns fighting. At this point, Tristan just needs to tap out after he broke Khloe's heart for the third time after recent infidelity accusations. So, I'm sure we're not gonna hear the last of this, but we got a show to do, so let's get to it. First up, we have Tesher in our artist spotlight, whose song Jalebi Baby is all over the internet with millions of TikTok views. The remix featuring Jason Derulo makes this track arguably a contender for the song of the summer. We have Tesher up now to tell us all about it.
I always kind of wanted to do something where it was either me singing or rapping, but for a long time, I just couldn't find where my voice was going to sit. Like I was never happy or content hearing how I sounded. So it took me a while to like figure it out. And like, I listened back to my old stuff from like when I was like in high school, and you can hear me rapping like Lil Wayne or rapping like, like Mac Miller, like the guys of the time, kind of more like high on a higher register. And it just took some time. It just took time for me to find my voice. And it wasn't, I feel like around like 2017, 2018, I started to figure it out. And then 2019, I was like, okay, I know where my voice is going to sit. And then, I mean, the records kind of blew up, so I'm going to stick with that. What's up? It's your boy Tesher. I am a rapper, singer, producer, mixing engineer, anything I need to be to get the job done. And let's get into these questions.
Hey, baby, let me see it. Jalebi, baby. I just want to eat it. Jalebi, baby. Baby, let me see it. Jalebi, baby. No, I really need it. Jalebi. Oh, baby, let me see it. Jalebi, baby. I just want to eat it. Jalebi, I know the things that you like.
I get so bored with music, to be honest, that I'm like switching up my style so often. Like, and that's also why like the music I make is so varied and people try to define it. Like, is this a Bollywood record? Is it a pop record? Is it a Latin record? I just put everything in because I'm just trying to keep myself interested and excited. So I couldn't even tell you what a Tesher type beat sounds like at this point, because I'm just doing whatever sounds good. So I think the one constant is just energy, just high energy. For the past few years, like starting from 2016, I got really heavy into Latin music. Like I was listening to a lot of Anita, J Balvin, Bad Bunny, and then that kind of led me into more of just like the roots. Like, so it's like Celia Cruz, like old salsa records, bossa nova, really kind of like digging through the crates digitally kind of thing. And so from there, that directly led to when I was producing Jalebi Baby, I'm like, this is going to sound hard if I have some like Latin percussion and that kind of salsa melody going in. And then it's my own upbringing that puts in the Bollywood elements too. So it's really a mix, you know, it's everything that's around me and that I've experienced that's coming together when I make music.
All right, so I was thinking of trying like a new Jason Derulo for this one, like
A new man, that's iconic. You can't change that.
hear me out on this one, because I just feel like it could be more epic.
All right, man.
Check this out.
Damn, he was right.
Hey.
So the record, Jalebi Baby, the original version was blowing up on TikTok, and then past TikTok, it was really doing numbers on Shazam. It was like number one in like 35 countries and stuff. And so it was just blowing up all over the place. And so at one point I kind of sat and I was like, what's the next step that I could take this record? And I'm like, okay, we've already breached past the South Asian community, which I honestly, when I made this song, I didn't think I'd actually make it past just the South Asian community. And so that already happened. So I thought we could probably hit, you know, the mainstream. Let's try to make a push for this and like being like a mainstream record. So you could play, you know, Justin Bieber, Peaches, Tesher, Jalebi Baby, and then like Ed Sheeran or Dua Lipa. And it would all just fit in that, in like a continuous flow. It wouldn't be too out of place. And I thought, you know, probably an easy or the most obvious way for me to do that would probably be through the help of a feature, of a well-known feature. And honestly, Jason Derulo was one of the guys, one of the top guys I had in mind to try to approach to make that happen, just because he's so in tune to TikTok. He's kind of done similar stuff before. He does high energy records. I could hear him on the track, but to my surprise, he came to me. And so I feel like I kind of spoke that into existence. I thought that into existence because he came to me and he was just coming to me saying, you know, I love the record. It sounds so new, so different. It caught his ear basically. And we just I sent him the stems. He sent me his version. We kind of went back and forth a little bit, just working out some of the kinks. And we had the new version just like that. The original, so the part that went viral on TikTok was the "Baby, let me see it, Jalebi Baby." What that started off as was I had produced a remix of "Yummy" by Justin Bieber, a bootleg remix that I just wanted to put out just for fun. And at the very end of me making that, I'm like, you know, let me try something. And I went in and I put a verse on there and a little bridge part, which was the "Baby, let me see it" part. And when I put it out, the last thing I had in my mind was that the part that would become the one that everyone loves was not even the Bieber part. It was my part where I was like, "Baby, let me see it." And so because that part in that remix went viral, I had to go back, take out the Bieber vocals, write new lyrics, and then create the version that we all know today as Jalebi Baby. So it's crazy how it happens. It's the things that you don't expect that just resonate with the audience. And then you're kind of like, okay, well, the audience is telling me what to do. I got to respect the wishes of the audience and respond to that. And then that's how things start happening. Yeah, it's crazy. I would be lying if I didn't say that when I made that "Baby, let me see it" part, I didn't feel a certain energy about it. Because, I mean, look, I was making a remix of a Justin Bieber song. For me to put my own voice into that and thinking, you know, people are probably going to be a little weirded out if they just hear me coming in with my own part. I was so confident in that part that I put it in. So I had a feeling that like people would really respond to it. To this level, no, I didn't think we'd be getting to this point, but no, I think it really just comes down to you just going into the studio or your bedroom and just having fun with the music. And if you are feeling it, if you're feeling good about it, just put it out and don't overthink it too much. And you know, the good thing about stuff with TikTok, it's not like you got to make the whole record too. You could just make a little part that you're feeling good about, put it on TikTok. If people like it, you'll get that real-time feedback. And if they don't, then you'll know. And then you can just keep going. But you just got to make sure you're doing what you think is right as the artist. You got to make sure you're fulfilled and you're doing stuff that you're happy with. So don't chase your viral moments. They'll happen if you are being true to yourself.
Baby, let me see it. I just wanna eat it. Baby, let me see it. No, I really need it.
Jalebi Baby is available on all streaming platforms, and I'm sure if you search for it on TikTok, you'll see many fun clips to the infectious track. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we have the singing group SZNS in our studio to talk about their origin and new track Build a Boy. We'll be back after this.
Hey, it's SZNS. We're at Buzz. Talking about all the stuff.
All the tea. And our donation for SZNS clothes because we're naked in our last music video.
Yeah, if you can help, that'd be really nice.
Thank you.
Remember when we used to dance all night? Now we only dance around the fights. Being with you shouldn't bring me down.
SZNS, featuring spring, summer, winter, and autumn, are poised to be the next big girl group with infectious harmonies and personality. Their singles Tequila with Lime and Build a Boy have set them up for a long-lasting career. Let's take a look.
Hey, it's SZNS. I'm Spring.
I'm Summer.
I'm Autumn.
And I'm Winter.
If I could build a boy, he'd be nothing like you. If I could build a boy, he'd love me more than you do. I'm not asking you to change, but we were made the same. So if I could build a boy, if I could build a boy, I would have never loved you. Ooh.
So we all kind of found it in different ways, and we came about and we auditioned. It was like a 6-hour audition, and it was crazy. You guys want to touch on that?
It was so crazy, yeah. I felt like I was on X Factor.
No, honestly, it was like that. It was a baby X Factor.
We were around all the other girls that were there, so we really saw like what we were up against. And I don't know if any of us knew if we were gonna get in, but here we are.
I was scared to sing. I was like, the dancing, like, cool. But, like, to sing, I was like, I'm so nervous.
I remember that we all danced together in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was looking around, like, I was doing my little dancey dance, and I was like, ooh, these girls, like, all right. Like, this girl got moves. This girl got moves. They weren't the choreographed ones, but they were good ones. No, I live in my own box, you know? I'm like, whew, I'm just selling it, you know? That's all I had that day. I was like, wow. I was like, I've never danced like this. This is intense. Ooh, you know? Yeah, we've actually written every song we have out right now.
Yeah, we do. We've written with some co-writers before, and we love just having a conversational lyricism that we have. Like, we all just talk to each other. That's how a song usually starts, is by us just saying like something that we've been through, and then it kind of turns into a song.
Now, girls groups get the stigma. It's like, oh gosh, they don't stick together. They don't, you know, they always break up and everything else.
Not us.
We're different.
Never.
We're built different.
Stuck with me. You can't get rid of me if you tried.
Nope.
I know where you live. I'm across the hall.
If you got rid of me, I would be really sad.
No, but like literally, we're just like, we just
tight.
work. We just work.
I
Like,
really
we love
don't-
each other and we work well together, and like, there's just no beef. Like,
No, I don't know what life was like before this. Like, I actually can't remember. It's not real.
yeah, absolutely agree.
Life started when we got in this group.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine life without them.
No,
like, we're
literally, I
all
was thinking
so
about that.
functioning in the same way. Like, we also simultaneously go through the same things at the same time, which is so weird. Like, we'll all go through a breakup, or like some shitty things will happen to us.
We'll all get our cars towed at the same time.
Right. Or
Awkward. Not I.
This is.
I am.
This just happened.
I'm not claiming that.
What was the first day in the studio like for you guys? You know, like, hey, we're together, we made it and everything else. Now we're recording songs. How was that experience?
I was like so nervous and shy. I was like,
I was
hi,
nervous,
I'm
yeah.
Spring, and I'm like not
we
like that.
We didn't even write that song. We never
Yeah.
put it out, but it was a song that like they gave us, and like I
was
had
really
never
cute,
been in the
though.
studio. I love that song. Oh my god, I love that song. I love the
We
demo.
were
I was
all
really wish we could've-
so like out of our box, I think.
Yeah,
like, we were
definitely.
like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then by the second time that we were in the same studio, we wrote Tequila with Lime. So
Wow.
it was,
I didn't wear this dress for you. You ain't the reason that I bought these shoes. You ain't the rhythm that's making me move the way I do now. Shit my goods and make my own change. Got paper, so I buy my own things. Don't need you to buy me my drinks. No. When we walk onto the floor formation, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're making all of the rules tonight. My hips, they turning, you on my lipstick, burning you up. We making all of the rules tonight. My name's not baby, 'cause if it was, you'd already be mine. You wouldn't be chasing me like tequila with lime.
We
actually were all just kind of hanging out, like trying to get to know each other because we got into the group and we were like, who are these people? Yeah. And we were chilling out at Summer's old apartment. Yep. And we were just talking about like going out and like what bars we liked in LA and like dating and boys and whatever. And we actually started out writing the bridge of what became Tequila with Lime. Yep. And then next time we were in the studio, we were like, we have this little thing, like I don't know if we want to go with it. And so we ended up running with it, and Tequila with Lime was born. Yes.
I remember we literally we were all in the same car afterwards. We called Sharona, or actually we sent it to Sharona, our manager, and then she calls us like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?" We're like, "Oh no, she hates it." She's like, "I love this. First
you guys
single.
can write.
This is what's coming out." She didn't know. We weren't required to write, but we just all wanted to. So that was a really cool moment.
If I could build a boy, he'd be nothing like you. If I could build a boy, he'd love me more than you do. I'm not asking you to change, but we were made the same. So if I could build a boy, if I could build a boy, I wouldn't.
Playing in the background is a video called Build a Boy. Tell us what went behind that and how was that experience?
Lots of tears. It was a sad day in the studio, but I'm gonna let Summer touch on it. She has a story for y'all. She has a story.
Okay, so we wrote this song right after I had my heart shattered into a million pieces. A million. And we wrote this beautiful song with this beautiful writer who then, 1 year later, shatters my heart into a million pieces. So
rip.
The song
Rest
is
in peace.
cursed. Just kidding. It's not cursed. Stream the song. I love the song. No, it's just, you know.
But the moral of the story is we wouldn't build any of the people that we've messed with.
No, I need something new.
Whether in the past.
She's still in search for Mr. Right.
No, I would build a man.
Yeah, not a boy. Ew. Wow. That was really good.
2020 sucked for everybody. How did you guys remain creative, and were some of these songs done during that pandemic time?
It was tough, man.
Yeah,
we lived together, so like we were doing a lot every day. Like we just like woke up at the same time, like did the same thing every day. Like we were like, okay, like we can make content today, or like tomorrow we can write a song if we feel like writing a song. But like we actually took that time and like really like grew, like not only in our relationships, like definitely in our relationships for sure, but also like just as a group, like.
Yeah, it became strong, and like we had to maintain the faith within each other of like, you know what, we can get through this. There's gonna be like, you know, keep going, because at one point I feel like everybody felt like, is it ever gonna end? Like this is crazy. Like nobody's been through this, and we essentially are a COVID baby. And
COVID baby.
Yeah, I know. And now I feel like we're finally being able to be born
now.
Yeah.
Literally, we're like ready.
It was really nice because like we didn't know each other before this group, so to come together and just like have this year of where we were allowed to take all of the time that we needed to really get to know, you know, what each of us were about and what we wanted to be about as a group. And now I feel like we're stronger than ever.
Definitely.
New fans, you can follow us at Seasons Official, SZNS Official on TikTok, Instagram. We got a Twitter. The Twitter's a little bit different. It's an underscore because it was taken. How rude.
Oh, I thought you meant like the content.
There's good content on
there. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. Honey, anywhere that you want. You got the Seasons.
Hi, we're Seasons, and you've just been buzzed.
The Build a Boy music video is out now on YouTube, and you can find their music on all streaming platforms. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more show to go with the hilarious Ashlyn B. We'll be back after this. Recently, on the internet, Rich blew everyone's mind saying that the ridges on these crackers are supposed to cut cheese. I'm going to test this theory. Oh. It works! I never knew that! Ashlyn B's hit Hulu show This Way Up Season 2 just debuted on Hulu, and Ashlyn talks to Madison about what can fans expect after a successful Season 1 and how they completed a successful taping throughout COVID. Let's take a look. Anybody got some wine? Ooh, my mouth is dry.
It'd be nice to be in bed with someone at night other than my pile of boyfriend.
What kind of boyfriend?
Just like the pile of on the other side of my bed, where a person should be. Oh, come on, mate.
Just clear it off your bed.
It'd be nice to have a reason to clear it off.
Now that This Way Up already has such a successful first season under its belt, going into the sophomore season, how are we feeling? Are we still nervous? Are we excited?
Well, that's interesting that you use the word sophomore. I've never heard that before. That's really kind of like last chance university, American cool, like it's sophomore. And I suppose I feel very much like a sophomore might feel, where you're like, the few dramas, the character around, how it works, but maybe the summer has changed you. You know what I mean? Maybe this summer, some people have to work, other people got to go to Cabo, whatever it is, but we're coming back into the sophomore season. So yeah, it feels a little bit like more known territory. And I think I definitely felt a lot more confident as a writer and my gut instincts, which was nice. But yeah, I think that's how I sort of feel about it. This time, yeah.
Definitely interesting, because in season 1, the series discussed very heavy topics like mental illness and getting your life together after a breakdown. Do you almost feel like you were ahead of the time, since all of a sudden 2020 came in and we were in a lockdown feeling a lot of those things?
Yeah, what's weird is, I suppose with mental health issues, and maybe it's a one potentially positive thing that could come out of this time, is maybe people who've never felt it before. When people are like, pep up, why don't you just get it together? Well, if you just went out for a walk, maybe you'd feel better. And it's like COVID is something in the air none of us can see that keeps us trapped in our houses, and that's what mental illness is. And I suppose maybe people will have a little bit more of an understanding of that, or the loneliness that comes from not having connection. And you can be around lots of people but not feel connected. And it's been interesting seeing where it comes out. So it just came out, the first series came out in Australia a couple of weeks ago. And it definitely hit in a different way. And you can sort of feel it from how audiences and journalists and everyone get in touch in a different way than it did a year and a half ago. It felt a bit more niche, and now maybe it feels a bit more broad in its not appeal necessarily, but in its thematic connection, without sounding like a artsy knobhead, but in the themes of it, it connects to a broader people.
Yeah, it became very well known and it changed all of our lives completely. On that note, what was it like filming in the middle of a pandemic?
Really terrible.
Tell me more.
I was singing just to take the edge off it, but it was really rough. And I think for everyone, I was very lucky to have such an amazing crew around me. But, everyone's wearing masks. These are people I know and love. You can't see smiles all day long. We started filming the week after Christmas had been cancelled, and people hadn't got to see their loved ones. The numbers were rising in terms of cases. Every single day we didn't know if we'd get shut down or if anyone would get sick, God forbid. 3 members of our team lost loved ones while we were filming. So really rough in a way that wasn't rough in a way that sometimes you talk about a job being tough, but the tough things are like, 2 cast members didn't get on, or this was rough in a lot more of a real way. And that was the stakes felt so much higher making a TV show for the people who are working for you. And that felt that, so it felt sad for that to be the experience of your show. Because, I spent 9 months writing it and caring about it, and it's my art and my work. And then you hope that people would have a nice time, but it was inevitable that it couldn't be fabulous, or there's still no one's ever had a drink to celebrate it ending or anything like that, so.
That's heartbreaking. Yeah. I'm so sorry. But on that
note, not the worst story of the pandemic at all, but just in terms of that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But on that note, you still did create a fabulous piece of art. So on that, how are you able to find that balance between comedy and these tough topics, especially during a time that was so dark?
I think that that's where I sit in terms of what I like and how I make my jokes. And it's very Irish, to be honest. I think culturally, if you look at kind of British comedy, it tends to be dark in a sort of mumbled way, which is excellent, but whereas Irish people do big jokes and big darkness right side by side, and they're not the opposite of each other. We kind of make jokes about funerals, and that's sort of Irish culture. And would be sometimes devoutly religious and absolutely take the piss out of Jesus. That's where we kind of sit tonally. So it isn't tough for me to find that line, because that's where I sort of sit tonally myself.
Sure. And how will this new season break even more barriers and boundaries than the prior?
I think maybe, have you watched 1 to 6 or how much of it have you watched?
I've watched the first 3.
First 3. I think, so I don't want to spoil it for you, but maybe the one barrier is in episode 6. There's a topic which when you see it, that was definitely the one that felt, oh, am I doing the right thing by going into it? But maybe that was the challenge. I knew I could write about like a woman going through a difficult time and find the balance there. But what about other things? So that's where even as I filmed it and as I edited, it was kind of upsetting to do. And I had to step in and do the edit. So I've edited episode 6 myself. And so it's the most personal episode of them all for a million reasons. But that one was the one that maybe it's not something that is maybe hinted at, it happens sort of thing. So you'll see what I mean in that one. I don't want to give anything away.
Before I let you go, now that the second season is ready to air, what do you hope viewers will take from it?
I hope people will feel seen by it. And I hope people will feel, especially after this year, like there's something in there that might connect with them to their experience, the feeling of what people have experienced this year, if not the actual circumstance. Because I think that's what the thing is. It's a similar feeling that people are having at the moment, no matter what their experience is, whether it's overwhelmment or not connecting with loved ones or getting the words wrong or pressure and or loneliness. So I hope people feel a little bit of like, oh, there's a little bit of me in there in that way. That's what I'd like, I think.
Absolutely. And from what I've seen, I think you really do accomplish that. So thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. You're lovely.
Oh, thank you so much. And for this lovely sort of world that you've created there in your hippie house. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for coming to join me. I appreciate it.
And hashtag free Britney always, okay?
Yes.
By the way.
I don't think I've ever heard so many Jesuses.
Yeah, sorry to talk about my ex in bed. I love you. Do you love me? Goodbye. I love you. Do you love me?
No.
Do you love me?
I love you.
Bye.
This Way Up Season 2 is available now on Hulu, and if you're not familiar, you can watch all of Season 1 also. That's all we have. Special thanks to Madison Brodsky, Ashlyn B, Seasons, and Tesher. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and double tap us on Instagram, all at @buzz_access. But before we go, we're gonna leave you with Build a Boy by Seasons. I'm Trey Rich, love and light to you all.
You would have your eyes, but not your views. Wouldn't wear insecurities like a bad tattoo. He would wear me on his arm, Prince Charming mix was acting wrong. Compared to you, you'd be a dream come true. Mama said you can't fix him, we both know I never listen. Now I'm just stuck here wishing if I could build a boy, he'd be nothing like you. If I could build a boy, he'd love me.
For more stories and extended clips, go to thebuzzallaccess.com. I'm Trey Rich, and you've just been buzzed.